Welcome back, you guys, your boy CK. Now, Le'Veon Bell was recently released by the Jets. 2 years after he missed an entire season due to a contract dispute, he's not off to the best start. He's currently an 86 overall in Madden 21, only 2 years after he was a 96 in Madden 19. So my question today is, what if Le'Veon Bell was at the highest overall he's ever been in any Madden? Not only would the Jets not have released him, they would have two 90+ running backs on their team. If you guys play Ultimate Team and you want to get some coins, make sure to check out my sponsor link in the description, mutreserve.com. Use my code CK and I promise you'll be rich one day. But in the meantime, you'll get 15% off your order. Not only did we do this for the Jets, but we went around the entire league and put every starting running back and some backups at the highest overall they've ever been in any Madden. Now, before we get started, I want to shout out this interview I did. Link will be in the pinned comment below. You guys can go check it out. You know how in Among Us they say you get caught in 4K? Well, that never happened to me because, you know, I'm great. But I'm gonna need to catch y'all in 4K in terms of likes. We get that many likes, I'll come back with the wide receiver version tomorrow. No surprises here. The Panthers and McCaffrey stay the same. Easily the best he's ever been. Derrick Henry and the Titans stay the same. Nick Chubb stays the same at a 93. Kareem Hunt used to be a 90 overall back in Madden 20, so he goes up 3 overalls. Dalvin Cook off to an incredible start to the season. This is the highest overall he's ever been. Zeke Elliott goes up 3 overalls from a 91 to a 94, which was his rating last year. Josh Jacobs stays the same at a 91. Saquon Barkley goes up 1 overall to a 91, which was his rating last year. But the big story of the Giants is Devontae Freeman going up from a 79 to an 89, which was his rating back in Madden 18. This man used to be an animal. Aaron Jones stays the same at a 90 overall. Kamara stays the same at an 89 overall. Joe Mixon started at an 89 in Madden 21, so he goes back up 1 overall. Gio goes up 4 overalls. He was an 81 back in Madden 18. Chris Carson goes up 1 overall to an 87. And Carlos Hyde goes up 4 overalls to an 83, which is what he had in Madden 18. But this is one of the bigger moves around the league, man. Todd Gurley, currently an 85. He's now a 97. That's what he was in Madden 20. It's crazy how quick running backs can lose a step, man. It's unbelievable. They have to get their money when they can. Some running backs are an anomaly, like Mark Ingram, who's been an 86 the last 3 seasons, consistently great. This is the highest overall Raheem Mostert has been in his career, 85. Coleman goes up 1 overall to an 83, and McKinnon goes up 1 overall to an 80. Eckler stays the same at an 86 overall. Same with Marlon Mack at an 85 overall. Philip Lindsay goes up 2 overalls. He was an 86 back in Madden 20. And Melvin Gordon, one of the bigger moves we've seen so far, from an 84 to a 92, which is what he was in Madden 20. Singletary stays the same, you know, for a lot of these younger running backs. This is the highest they've ever been, for the most part, if they're playing well. TJ Yeldon goes up 6 overalls. He was a 79 in Madden 18. James Conner stays the same at an 83 overall. Same exact situation as Kenyon Drake. Patriots running back situation gets a little better. James White goes up 4 overalls. He was an 86 in Madden 20. Sony was an 84 in Madden 20. He goes up 4 overalls as well. Damian Williams goes up 1 overall. Booby stays the same at an 81. They hold him on his overall. But the one team that improved the most, it's not even close. It's the Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette goes up 6 overalls from an 81 to an 87. That's good for second on the team. Because my favorite player of all time, LaShawn Shady McCoy, goes up from a 76 overall. Who had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to give this man a 76? Boy, don't forget, he was a 97 in Madden 15. Stop playing with him. Almost had my blood boiling, okay? And then I saw this. Adrian Peterson, an 80 overall. It's like they forgot. This man was a 99 in Madden 25. Put respect on his name. 2 Johnsons improved on the Texans. Duke Johnson goes up 1 overall, but it's David Johnson, who's currently a 77 overall, that ended up improving to a 94, which is what he was back in Madden 18. Tariq the Human Joystick Cohen goes from a 77 to an 85, which is what he was in Madden 20. The Dolphins improved a lot as well. Matt Breida goes from a 77 to an 82. That was his rating in Madden 20. And Jordan Howard goes up 10 overalls from a 75 to an 85. That was his rating in Madden 19. The Rams literally have nothing but young guys, so there was really no changes. The football team had one good change. Peyton Barber goes up 6 overalls to a 77. And last but not least, the Jacksonville Jaguars actually get a lot better, man. Chris Thompson goes from a 76 to an 84, which was his rating in Madden 19. And now the league has nothing but insane running backs all around, man. 299s in McCaffrey and AD. 297s with Gurley and Shady. Le'Veon at a 96. Zeke, David Johnson, bro. This is unbelievable. We have been blessed over the past decade and a half to have witnessed all of these running backs at their peaks. So let's go ahead and see who ends up having the best stats at the end of the season, who could take their team the furthest. I'm conflicted though. Do I cut Le'Veon or do I let him play out the season? I think they'd be just fine with a 93 overall. I feel bad for Le'Veon. I wish he was already on the team so I could assign him somewhere, but currently he a free agent. I gotta do it. It hurts me. Alright, so let's read through the stats, man. Tariq almost had a 1,000-yard season with 7 touchdowns. Montgomery, who stayed the same, ended up with 16 touchdowns. Mixon on the Bengals killed it, 1,100 yards. Gio had a decent season. Singletary, who didn't change at all, ended up with a 10-touchdown season. Yeldon had 350 on the ground. Gordon had a 1,000-yard season with 12 touchdowns. Lindsey was a very solid number 2, and Royce Freeman was a very solid number 3, even though I don't think his overall changed. But Nick Chubb with 24 touchdowns. That has to be top 10 of all time. I don't think it's as many as LT, but yeah, that is insane. And Kareem Hunt with a good season as well. Maybe it's because he went up in overall. Chubb was a little threatened, so every time he touched it, he had to go crazy. Shady McCoy with a 1,000-yard season. That's a thing of beauty. 6 touchdowns to go along with it. Leonard Fournette had 9. Kenyon Drake with 863, 7 touchdowns. Edmonds actually led the team in rushing touchdowns. On the Chargers, Eckler led the team in rushing. Damian Williams led the Chiefs in rushing. Man, both those teams, the running backs didn't really change in overall. Same with the Colts. So this is to be expected, man. Zeke Elliott did what he usually does, man. 1,400 yards and 8 touchdowns. Absolutely disgusting season. Jordan Howard with a 1,000-yard season, man. Back at an 85 overall. He ended up cooking with 8 touchdowns is to go along with it. Breida had a decent season. Booby with over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Clement added 8 on the ground for the Falcons. Todd Gurley, back to the Gurley we know and love, man. 1,300, 9 touchdowns. Ito Smith with 10, bro. Raheem Mostert with over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. This man gonna be at the 90 soon. Mark my words. Tevin Coleman with 8 touchdowns as well. And the Giants, Saquon, of course, with over 1,000 yards. But look at Devontae, 13 touchdowns, man. This duo is very nasty as well. They might end up being the ones that go far in the simulation. Chris Thompson, 826, 4 touchdowns. I was waiting on the Jets. Frank Gore with over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns, man. Looking like he's back in his prime. You love to see it, man. They would have been even nastier if they still had Le'Veon. But it is what it is. Adrian Peterson. Looking like cover athlete Adrian Peterson. 1,500 yards. 15 touchdowns. 7 yards per carry. This dude was an animal in his prime, bro. That is what he was doing. He's still really good, but he was just otherworldly. Look at his stats if you have a chance to. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's one of the best running backs of all time, man. Packers with Aaron Jones. I mean, that's a typical season for him. Just he's really good. I don't really know what else to say. McCaffrey, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. That's what he does. The Patriots, James White and Sony. Remember, they both improved by 4 overalls, and they both killed it on the ground. On the Raiders, Josh Jacobs, gonna be good for a long time. Okay, 1,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, and his overall didn't change at all. Malcolm Brown on the Rams actually cooked, 10 touchdowns. On the Ravens, Mark Ingram stayed the same. Same with Gus Edwards, and they both produced. On the football team, nobody changed except for Peyton Barber, and he ended up leading the team by far in all the rushing categories. Kamara stayed the same, had 11 touchdowns on the ground. Same with Latavius. Nice backfield right there, but we already knew that. Chris Carson, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. Carlos Hyde improved, I think, by 4 overalls, and you can see it in his stats. Nasty backfield as well, bro. There's so many rushing touchdowns in this simulation. James Conner led the Steelers in all rushing categories. On the Texans, no No surprise, David Johnson looking like he did that one game versus my Eagles. You know when he was carrying folks. Looking at you, Byron Maxwell. 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns to go along with it on the Titans. Henry stayed the same in terms of overall, and of course his production still really good. Dalvin Cook, 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns. Madison with 10, even though I don't think we changed his rating at all. So there you have it. Chubb leads the league in rushing yards. Peterson leads the league in yards per carry, and then Chubb destroys everyone when it comes to rushing touchdowns. Good enough to tie for 5th all time in NFL history in one season, man. What a freaking season for Nick Chubb. Now I've seen running backs win MVP before, but not today. Okay, not in the league with Cam Newton. He wins almost every single MVP in almost every simulation, but Chubb at least gets in the top 10. OPOY, he ended up number 5. Jacobs ends up number 7. Love to see running backs get recognition like that. Best running back in the AFC. No surprise, Nick Chubb. Let's see if there's any running backs in here. Okay, Adrian Peterson, yes sir. Led the Lions to an 8-8 record. I'm curious if that was good enough for the playoffs. But he was also the best running back. McCaffrey right behind him. I expected the Browns to be really good. Same with the Saints. Zeke going up a couple overalls, you know, helped the Cowboys out. Ravens were always going to be good no matter what. Tariq helped the Bears go 10-6. David Johnson getting a lot better. Helped the Texans go 10-6. The Bills running back stay the same. Same with the Rams. The Bucks, of course. They were going to make it no matter what. I mean, they had Brady, all that good stuff. But hey, Shady being a 96, 97 doesn't hurt. Okay, Saquon and Devontae, that duo was nasty. Helped the Giants make the playoffs. The Niners, I think, stayed the same. Patriots running backs got better. That helped. And then the Chiefs stayed the same. So Adrian was not able to get the Lions to the playoffs. Neither was McCaffrey on the Panthers. That sucks. Who else had a huge overall jump? The Jets. Where were the Jets?
It is what it is.
In the playoffs, we had the Ravens over the Chiefs in the wild card round. The Titans over the Bills. Damn, didn't that just happen in real life? That is tough, man. I'm sorry y'all had to go relive that again. The Texans and David Johnson over the Patriots. The Bucks get destroyed by the Bears. The Giants squeak by the Rams, man. That running game, I'm telling you, man, it could take them far. And then the Niners beat the Cowboys. Divisional round, we had the Browns over the Titans. 2 great running games right there. The Saints beat the Niners. The Ravens beat the Texans, so David Johnson's run ends right there. And then the Giants with Devontae and Saquon beat the Bears, but they lose to the Saints in the conference championship, and the Browns beat the Ravens. So you have 2 backfields that really didn't change too much end up making it to the Super Bowl. Hey, they made it to the Super Bowl. It's only right if we put the spotlight on them. Oh my goodness, Chubb starting off with a nasty truck. I don't think this is as far-fetched as people might think, man. The Browns are off to a filthy start to the season. They have one of the best running back backfields in the NFL. Not to mention Odell out there making crazy catches, man. This could easily happen. I could definitely see this coming to fruition. 2nd and 6. Baker with plenty of time. Gonna throw it across his body to who else but Odell Beckham Jr. Oh God, they sent the blitz. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. There it is, Odell again. 3rd and 10. They moved the ball all the way down the field. But can they get it in the end zone? Trips to the right, or bunch to the right, whatever that was. Baker almost throws an interception. 1st and 10 for the Saints. Michael Thomas on a slant. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. I understand why the Saints run it so often. Look at Jared Cook. I don't know if you need to do this for the tight end position, man. Most tight ends, they retire before they really fall off. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, I'm looking right now at some of the ratings. Maybe Olsen will be like in the mid 90s. Jordan Reed would probably be low 90s. Breeze going to Jared Cook, who doesn't seem to age. Trying to look for some other ones. Okay, Jimmy Graham was a 77. Would easily be in the mid 90s. Jason Witten probably in the low 90s. I'm looking. I think that's it. There's only about like 5 or 6 tight ends that you can consider way past their prime. That's a lot less than running backs and way less than the quarterback position. We'll see what happens with wide receiver, man. I think that's going to have the most improvements as Thomas drops it. Both teams start off with a field goal on their first drive. So there you have it. New Orleans would come out on top if we ended up putting every running back at the highest overall they've ever been in any Madden, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for the support lately. Don't forget to check out the interview in the pinned comment below, man. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on the next one.